Dear students, this is the excretory product and their elimination. In this chapter, you are going to study about how the excretory elements, and you can say that as a products, how they are eliminated from our body. Animals usually accumulate ammonia, urea, uric acid, carbon dioxide, water, and ions like phosphates, sulfates, and potassium, sodium, like that. Okay, so either by metabolites activity or by other means, like as we seen in last chapter, that is the uh, ingesting. Okay, that is the excess of ingestion, you can say. Okay, so these removal of waste products from the body is called as excretion. So waste products are usually synthesized in the cells due to metabolic activity. As I said just now, excretion, if we are going to define, excretion is an essential process in all forms of life. Okay, so in one called organisms, waste are discharged through the surface of the cell. The higher plants eliminate gases through the stomata or pores present on the leaf surface. Multicellular animals have a special excretory organs. Okay, so usually ammonia, urea, and uric acid are the major forms of nitrogenous waste. Okay, usually the wastes are excreted as we can say it as nitrogenous wastes. Okay, nitrogenous wastes usually ammonia, urea, and also uric acid. These three are the major nitrogenous wastes, where as we can call it as. Okay, so ammonium is the major, actually, so it is the most toxic form and requires usually a more number of water. There is a large amount of water is required for the ammonia to eliminate it. Okay, whereas uric acid, being the least toxic, can be removed with a minimum loss of water. Okay, on the base of main excretory products. Okay, main excretory products, we can say it as a animals can be divided into three groups majorly. Okay, so one is ammonotelic, ureotelic, and uricotelic. Okay, and we see the ammonotelic, like many bony fishes and aquatic amphibians, and the usually aquatic insects, they are the ammonotelic in nature. Okay, so ammonia, as it readily soluble, is generally excreted by diffusion. Okay, by diffusion across the body surface. Okay, or through gill surface that is present in fish, as you are seeing in the picture. Okay, so they are called as ammonotelic organisms. And actually, kidneys are not playing any significant role in these animals. Okay, and terrestrial adaptations, if it is necessitated, the production of lesser toxic nitrogenous wastes like usually urea and uric acid for usually conservation of water. Okay, mammals and many terrestrial amphibians and marine fishes mainly excrete urea, and they are called as ureotelic animals. Okay, and ammonia produced by metabolism is converted into urea in the liver of these animals and released into the blood, usually, which is filtered and excreted out by the kidneys. Okay, as the filtration is the main process by the kidney. Some amount of urea may be retained, okay, retained in the kidney matrix of some of these animals to maintain desired osmolarity. Okay, it is balancing osmolarity. Reptiles, birds, and land snails and insects excrete the nitrogenous wastes as a uric acid. Okay, uric acid in the form of pellets or just like a paste. Okay, there is a white color paste with a minimum loss of water, and they are usually called as uricotelic animals. Okay, as you are seeing the bird, so urotelism is one of the flight adaptations by the birds. Okay, so uh, as you are seeing the ammonotelism. Okay, so this is the process of excretion of ammonia, as just we discussed. Okay, it is highly toxic and it needs excess of water. So usually aquatic organisms are ammonotelic, and as you see ureotelism. Okay, so animals, fishes, terrestrial and semi-aquatic amphibians, frogs, toads. Okay, like these are all the, and also including mammals. Okay, and they are the ureotelic and uricotelism. Okay, so majorly it is released by in the form of uric acid. Okay, usually it is insoluble in water, so water is not required for excretion. Okay, uricotelic animals means, as you are seeing, the major arthropod, birds, snails, like that. Okay, and if you see the excretory organs, okay, usually in human beings primary excretory organs or kidneys. Okay, so we'll see later. And accessory excretory organs are just like a lungs, liver, skin, okay, and intestine. So our lungs usually remove the large amount of carbon dioxide, okay, as we discussed in last chapter, and also significant quantities of water every day. Okay, and liver is the largest gland in our body and secretes of bile containing substances like bilirubin, biliverdin, cholesterol, degraded steroid hormones, vitamins, and drugs, as discussed in the digestion chapter. Most of these substances ultimately pass out along with the digestive waste only. Okay, and then sebaceous glands are also there in our body, so that eliminate certain substances like sterols and hydrocarbons, waxes, through sebum. Sebum is the that is a sweat secreting glands. Okay, so this secretion provides the protective oily covering for the skin. It is a protecting. Okay, so and intestine, what it does, excess salt of calcium, magnesium, and iron, usually ferrous ions, okay, are excreted by epithelial cells of colon. Okay, that is the large intestine along with the feces. And excretory organs, if we consider the other organisms, okay, usually the protonephridia, which is the primary proto, it is a primary these organs, okay, which eliminates the this one products. Okay, so these are also called as the flame cells and are the excretive structures in platyhelminthes. Okay, and also it is seen in rotifers, some annelids, and also cephalochordates. Okay, and example amphioxus. Protonephridia are primarily concerned with the ionic and fluid volume regulation. That is what we called as a osmoregulation. And if you see the nephridia, okay, nephridium, these are the tubular excretory structures of earthworms, okay, and other annelids. Nephridium usually help to remove nitrogenous waste and maintain fluids and ionic balance. And next is the Malpighian tubules. They are the excretory structures of most of the insects. Usually, it includes cockroach, as we discussed in the structural organization in animals. Okay, and Malpighian tubules help in removal of nitrogenous waste and also maintenance of osmoregulation. And in organisms like prawns, okay, and crustaceans, usually the elimination is by the antennal gland. They are also called as green glands. Okay, so they perform the excretory function. Okay, if we consider the ammonotelic, okay, so the in a protozoa, okay, usually the contractile vacuoles, okay, so they helping for the excretions. Okay, and in a phylum Porifera, usually general surface of the body. Okay, so they are also ammonotelic. And salient phylum Coelenterata, that is general surface of body only. And platin means, as we just seen. And nematoda, okay, nematoda, in a phylum Nematodon, the H-shaped excretory organs are there. Okay, they are called as rennet cells. Okay, they are also ammonotelic. And annelida, as we seen, just a nephridial system. And if you consider the arthropoda, okay, arthropoda usually class insecta, class crustacea. These are uricotelic. Okay, malpresent tubules and antennary glands are helping for this reason. And class arachnidum, usually it contains coxal glands. Okay, that is in a spider and scorpion. Okay, so the function of this, they are uricotelic, and they are helping the xanthine and guanine in a small, they release like this. Okay, in phylum mollusca, okay, the kidney or just like Keber's organ, renal organs, like some organs are there to excrete, that is unio, pila, okay, like that. And if you consider the chordata, okay, that is hemichordata contains usually proboscis gland, okay, and they are also amniotic balanoglasses example. And urochordata, usually neural gland and nephrocytes, they excrete the products, they are uricotelic, okay. And in cephalochordata, okay, so usually protonephridia and bounce funnel, renal papilla, okay, so just they are monotelic also. And best example is the amphioxus, okay. And uh, usually the amino acids and ammonia, okay, they are the main excretory products usually. Okay, so the amino acids, these are the end products of protein digestion, okay. In protein digestion, so usually amino acid proteins break down into amino acids, okay. The excess is eliminated, okay, in certain invertebrates like some mollusk, okay, and in some echinodermata, excrete excess amino acids as well. So this is called as ammonotelic. And in ammonia, it may be NH4 or NH3, okay. So it is the first metabolic waste of protein metabolism usually, okay. And ammonia is, as we just seen, highly toxic and highly soluble in water. And then urea and uric acid, okay. If we consider the human excretory system, okay, human excretory system, the tissue and organs associated with the removal of waste product, that is called as excretion. So these constitute the excretory system. Some of these structures constitute the urinary system, which is involved in the synthesis, separation, and elimination of mainly nitrogenous wastes, and some other mineral salts also. Okay, excretory system usually consists of a pair of kidneys, as you are seeing, one pair of ureter, and urinary bladder, and urethra. Okay, as we just seeing, so these are all the organs. Okay, you can see the some structure of a kidney. Okay, usually it is called pelvis, medulla. Okay, these are the conical structures, and this is the cortex. These are the this is the pelvis, and these are the inferior vena cava, and this is the dorsal aorta. Okay, so these are the main artery and veins, okay, which are connected to kidneys with the help of renal artery and renal vein respectively. Okay, respectively. And the endocrine gland, okay, that is adrenal gland, they are associated with the kidneys. They are placed just above the these two kidneys. Okay, so this cap like structures. And if you see the structure of kidney, you can see the placement of kidney, okay. uh, Usually it is a reddish brown and bean shaped, okay. These are mesodermal in origin, and homeostatic organ, it is a shaped excreted homeostatic organ. Homeostatic means maintenance of a normal things, and these are situated on each side of dorsal aorta in the inner wall of abdominal cavity. And average sized kidney measures usually 10 to 12 centimeter in length, 5 to 7 centimeter in width, and 2 to 3 centimeter in thickness. Okay, thickness. So with an average weight, okay, average weight of each kidney is of about 120 to 170 grams. Okay, it is covered by usually peritoneum on the ventral side, peritoneum on ventral side. Okay, and the asymmetry within the abdominal cavity caused by the liver results in the right kidney to be slightly lower than the left one. Okay, so that is a the size is slightly lower than the left one because in a right side liver is there, it is pressing towards the back side. Okay, and the concavity of the kidney is called hilum, as you are seeing now in the picture. Hilum, through which ureter, blood vessels and nerves enter. Okay, inner to the hilum is a broad funnel shaped space called the renal pelvis, with projections called calyces. Okay, you can see in the next picture. And as we see now, so this is the renal pelvis. Okay, this is opened here, renal artery and renal veins, and also ureter open into the these renal pelvis. Okay, and these pelvis, renal pelvis, the projections usually they are called as calyces. These are the calyces, these are the major calyces, these are the minor calyces. Okay, calyx is the singular form and calyces are the plural form. So internally the kidney is divided into two zones. Okay, so two zones, that is an outer cortex and inner medulla. So the cortex is a granular in appearance. Cortex contains usually Malpighian corpuscles and proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule. These you can you study in the next bit. Okay, cortex is a granular up in appearance, and it is subdivided into alternating radial tracts. Okay, so that is a rays and a labyrinthus. They are called as labyrinthus. Okay, then medulla is divided into few conical mass, that is called as medullary pyramids. These are the medullary pyramids, and each pyramid together with the associated overlying cortex forms a renal lobe. Okay, renal lobe. The cortex extends in between the medullary pyramids as a renal columns, that is called as columns of Bertini. Okay, so these are the columns of Bertini. And that is in between the renal columns. Okay, so that is called as columns of Bertini. And renal medulla contains a loop of Henle collecting tubules and duct of Bertini. And nephrons are the structural and functional units of kidneys. Okay, nephrons. Now the nephron head is situated in the cortex and usually the upper medulla. Okay, and some nephrons are larger, they are deeply sectioned. Okay, and they are the usually structural and functional unit of a kidneys. So nephrons eliminates waste from the body, regulate blood volume and pressure, and control levels of electrolytes and metabolites, and regulate blood pH. Then there are actually two types of nephrons are there. Okay, there are usually two type of nephrons. As just I said, no, there are usually two parts. Usually each kidney contains 1 million tubular nephrons. Okay, so as these are called as uriniferous tubules, or we can say nephrons. Okay, usually the head part is situated in the cortex, and the loops are situated in the medulla. Okay, as you see, the loop of Henle and collecting deck, they are placed in medulla. In the cortex region, the proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, and glomerulus, these are all the parts. Okay, so each nephron has a two parts usually, glomerulus part, okay, and a tubular part. These are all the renal tubes. And usually there are usually two types of nephrons are there. Okay, so one is cortical nephrons and juxtamedullary nephrons. Two types of nephrons are there. That is cortical nephrons and juxtamedullary nephrons. Cortical nephrons means what? The nephrons which they found in the cortex. Okay, these type of nephrons are constituted 70 to 80%, but juxtamedullary nephrons only about 30% maximum. Okay, these cortical nephrons are found in cortex, but juxtamedullary nephrons, they are found in the function of a renal cortex and medulla. And cortical nephrons have a relatively short loop of Henle. Okay, this loop of Henle is short in a cortical nephron, but in juxtamedullary nephrons they have a longer loop of Henle. Okay, and also they contains vasa recta. Okay, so they contains usually vasa recta. So this is the glomerulus, and in cortical nephrons, they are usually under normal water condition. This nephron deals with the control of blood volume. But in juxtamedullary nephrons, in case of deficiency of water supply, especially increased the water retention and occurs through this nephron only. Okay. So as you are saying, this is the glomerulus part of a nephron. So this part is enlarged here. Okay, so this is the glomerulus. This is a proximal convoluted PCT. It is called as proximal convoluted tubule, and this is a distal convoluted tubule. These are present in cortex, and following proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle is formed. Okay, so this is the hairpin-like structure. Okay, so the one is the descending limb of loop of Henle, and another is ascending limb of loop of Henle. Okay, ascending limb of loop of Henle so is wider when it moves towards the cortex. Okay, it is narrow in loop, but it is widening towards when it moves to distal convoluted tubule. And distal convoluted tubule is connected to majorly collecting duct. Okay, this collecting duct connects to renal pelvis and to the bladder. Okay, so this is the major blood vessel. Okay, afferent arteriole brings blood towards the glomerulus, and from glomerulus afferent arteriole. Okay, so they extract the blood from this glomerulus. Okay, and this is the proximal convoluted tubule. So these afferent arteriole makes the blood vessel network. Okay, and this is called as a Bowman's capsule. This glomerulus is encapsulated as it is called as a Bowman's capsule. Okay, and as I said, the Bowman's capsule and glomerulus and plus Bowman's capsule. Usually, it is called as a Malpighian body, or we can say it is a renal corpuscle. And as we see, no, there is a descending limb of loop of Henle, ascending limb of loop of Henle, and this is the loop of Henle, PCT, DCT. There is a distal convoluted tubule, and this is the collecting duct. It connects to the bladder. Okay, and collecting duct extends to the cortex. Okay, here you can see. So this cortex contains majorly this part PCT, that is a proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule. At this part, that is in the cortex, and these loop, okay, they are connected. They are present in the medulla. And the afferent, as I just said, no, the afferent arteriole, and this is the afferent arteriole. That is, the blood enters to the glomerulus through afferent arteriole, and it comes out through afferent arteriole. Okay, here the major filtration takes place. So this is called as a filtration site. We can say it as a filtration site. So this is the juxtamedullary apparatus. Okay, from here, these peritubular capillaries, they form the network. Okay, so that is at a loop, they form the U-shaped vasa recta. These are all the minute vessels. Okay, so you can say it as a capillaries also. So this is called as a vasa recta. Okay, as I said, no, these are the cortical nephrons. Okay, cortical nephrons are shorter, but the juxtamedullary nephrons are longer. Okay, that is the complete medulla. It forms the tubes. Okay, so this is the complete nephron with this also. It is blood vessels and tubular structure. Okay, so in next video we will see how the urine is formed. Thank you.